What are some lesser-known signs that a relationship is healthy? I'm the single friend to a lot of my friends with partners right now. And here's one that people don't always get. I think in the best relationships, each person thinks their partner is both much dumber and much smarter than them. I've seen this dynamic play out a bunch of times. It's to each person being in awe of their partners and looking forward to learning from them and leaning on them, but also having knowledge and skills the other doesn't and being willing to compensate. They fill in some gaps with each other. I'm not sure why, but I think there's something here. Showing up in the small things. It matters to know your partner's favorite candy and surprise them with it on a bad day, or to get up early and make them coffee, or to leave notes on the mirror. You don't have to do the most, and it shouldn't come from a place of expectation, but it's a really good sign to want to be kind to your person in daily ways. A sign that a relationship's solid as heck is when both peeps got their own hobbies and pals, you know? It's like they ain't joined at the hip 24/7 and can enjoy their me time without flipping out. Also, check it a good giggles show over the dumbest stuff that no one else gets. That's the secret sauce of a rockin' bond. Having friendships, hobbies, interests, activities independent from each other. Not a very good sign when one or both are incapable of doing an activity without the other partner present. Or if one partner gets all lonely and insecure when the other isn't right there at all times. You find that you often think of the same things at the same time, or agree on decisions without having to talk about them because you've spent so much time together. Nothing the other person says bothers you because you know their intentions as if they're your own. Knowing what the other person's favorite anything is, like they could order for you off a menu at any restaurant and you would probably really like it. Little physical touches, like holding hands in the car without realizing it, not arguing over chores. Relationships are never healthy. People only learn to cohabitate for the sake of children or not being lonely. There's a reason nothing lasts forever. Humans are temperamental. Someone cheats. Someone gets bored. Drama happens, it's always something. Rain of salt. But I seem to remember reading a survey of family therapists, and they said that the healthiest couples were the ones who checked in with each other in some way during therapy sessions. Not being reckless when mad at each other. Forget the pettiness, it goes nowhere. He'll still open the door for me, and I'll put a blanket on him when he's asleep even when we're not talking for an hour. They don't complain about each other to their friends constantly. Yes, frustrations happen, but it's OT that constant take my wife, please mentality that shows up all the time in all the comedy. Being able to be totally weird with each other, and it is normal, lol. My wife and I have always talked about if strangers were listening to our daily conversations, they'd be so entertained. Laughter, avoiding misunderstanding, clear communication systems, organic love and support. Finding yourself wanting to encourage the best for them and often overlooking ourselves. The ability to be fully relaxed and in comfort next to your partner, regardless of what you're doing. Their company being a fresh breath of air. They don't constantly post about each other on social media because they genuinely love each other and don't need validation. Probably late to the party, but being able to do nothing with each other or having the space to do your own thing. You shit with the door open. You talk about pussy. You go on riverboat gambling trips. You make your own beef jerky. You can tell the other person they've hurt your feelings without it turning into an argument and vice versa. I might be crazy, but constructive arguments. I'd rather we be honest and argue than lie and build grudges. Interdependence and flexibility. Also in today's economy, none of this provider shit. No 50-50. But 100-100. When it doesn't feel like work, you just genuinely like being around each other, just being yourselves. Lot of laughing, and that you can sit in each other's presence without feeling the need to talk. You genuinely enjoy spending time together, and not just for the Instagram photo ops. Balance, like say when one asks, what do you want to eat? And they ask the same back. It's a look she gives you, and you totally understand what they are trying to convey. You still get excited when you see them walk through the door at the end of the day. They don't nitpick small purchases and communicate well over expensive purchases. Being able to be honest without being in terror of upsetting the other person. The little things. Surprising the person because you want to make them happy. You're able to acknowledge your differences rather than consider it a threat. Deaning, who's that? Deaning, what do you want to make for supper? You can joke around with each other without anyone taking it to heart. The cessation of blame for the suspicious death of each other's pets. Amazing cooked food and consistent laughter throughout 72 hours period. Disagreements, misunderstandings don't carry on into the next day. IMO, being able to emotionally connect even after an argument. Being comfortable in the most uncomfortable of situations. They don't constantly feel the need to say I love you. The ability to coexist in very companionable silence. Lack of nagging. Nagging just wears on you so much.